Hi and welcome to another GameSpot unboxing. This time we have the brand new Xbox Series X. Now you might have seen that we've done a bunch of tech tests on it already, but this is a final retail unit, so I'm going to be opening it up and having a look at what's inside. Let's take a quick look at the packaging. Pretty standard fare. Kind of awkward that it's still got Halo on the back, but delays happen. Obviously all the info about what is actually inside the box. All right. Razor blade time, let's open this up. Okay.
Ooh.
It's literally gift wrapped like a present, which is nice. Hopefully people will be getting these for Christmas, I suppose. Let's look at the accessories first. Standard product and regulatory guide, warranty stuff. Not very exciting at all. Okay, we have an HDMI 2.1 cable, and we know it's a 2.1 because it says ultra high speed on it. That is the designation given to 2.1 HDMIs. So if you want to be playing games upwards of 4K, you need one of these bad boys. Here you've got the power cable. Probably saw this go viral on Twitter a while ago. It is just a standard AC power cable. If you're using a power cable for your Xbox One X, for example, that should actually work with your Series X. We had Michael Haim test that out a couple weeks ago. Okay, new controller. So, comes with batteries. Very useful, although I long for the day when they'll finally just have a rechargeable one and don't need AA batteries. This is the brand new controller. This is my first hands-on with it. I use the Xbox Elite Series 2 a lot. I've been using the DualSense as well a lot, so I can compare it to that, as well as the DualShock 4 and a standard Xbox One controller. But first impressions is that it feels very light. They have these kind of like the texturized plastic on the grips and now on the triggers, which just, I mean, like it's still a great controller. A little too light for my taste. I like the fact that the Elite is much heavier. I mean, face buttons just feel like an Xbox controller. They have redesigned the D-pad, but yeah, it feels nice, feels more in line with how I like it on the Elite. Brand new button. You have a designated share button now, so no longer is the view button a weird kind of mashup of a button. Now you have a dedicated share button, which is useful for sharing screenshots and gameplay. But other than that, it's like a standard Xbox controller. It feels nice in the hand, but I still prefer my Elite. But obviously with the Xbox ecosystem, the Xbox family, all the accessories you had for your Xbox One will work with the new Xbox Series S and X. And speaking of X, let's open the console. Time to power my dreams. Good Lord, it's heavy. That was a legitimate reaction. I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy.
Merry Christmas, Xbox.
Merry Christmas, Xbox. Please put that clip of Usher in.
Merry Christmas, Xbox. It's Usher, and I hope that Santa got you everything you asked for, including Dance Central 3. I'll see you guys in the new year.
Clearly in quarantine, I haven't been doing any weights. This is quite heavy. It feels very dense. You know, it feels like there's definitely a lot in there. Let's go through everything. Power button. Ooh, that's quite a hard button to press. I don't know if that makes a difference, but if you remember when the original Xbox One came out, the button that was not even really a button that would turn on if there was like a waft of air in its general direction. So it feels actually quite good to have something that's quite tactile and gives you feedback. The disk drive, so if you get an Xbox Series X, it comes with a disk drive, which is very useful if you buy a lot of games on disk. If you don't, then maybe the Xbox Series S is the better option for you, but disk drive here and eject disk button to sync your controller, and a USB-A port. We'll move to this side because this is the side that will be lying on your desk or table or whatever it is you want to put your Series X. If you want to have it horizontally, so you've got these like rubberized grips here. I assume they're the same ones that are on the bottom. Provide a lot of grip. It is actually quite difficult to move it. Okay, moving around the back of the console now. Two more USB ports, same as the one on the front of the console. Here's where you're gonna put your Ethernet cable if you wanna have it wired into the internet. Here's where your power adapter is gonna go. Here is your HDMI out, and like I said, it comes with an HDMI 2.1 cable. And also here you have the storage expansion slot. So storage expansion on the Series X works slightly differently. You can buy an official storage expansion card, which currently runs at about $220, which is obviously quite a lot of money for extra storage. If you're gonna be downloading loads and loads of games, you don't think that the 1 terabyte internal storage is going to be enough, there are options for you. There are the official storage card, like I mentioned, but if you want to go on GameSpot.com, Michael has done a rundown of testing external hard drives, just USB hard drives, and kind of weighing up the load times of games that are on external hard drives compared to using the internal storage. So go check that out if that's going to be a big issue or a big selling point for you. And then on this side, just plain side that's got my grubby fingerprints all over it now. Let's take a look at the bottom. So the bottom is actually just all one of these big rubberized grips. No wonder she wasn't moving when I was trying to pick her up and move her about. But let's look at the top. Oh God. And so the top is where you'll get that splash of color, that Xbox green in the vents in the top here. I remember the first time at the Game Awards when we got that look, the first ever look at the Series X, and everyone was just talking about how monolithic it seemed and how huge. And honestly, considering the power that you've got inside this thing, this is smaller than it should be. Honestly, like now seeing it in the flesh, I can totally see where it's gonna live in my house. You know, it just seems to fit in. I'm actually kind of surprised at how small it is. This is a decently sized console. And then the final thing in the box, you've got a little getting started quick start guide, which could also double as something to hang on your door if you don't want to be disturbed because you're gaming too hard. That's a joke, it doesn't actually say that. Just tells you to go download the Xbox app and use Quick Start to get it all set up and running. So that was the unboxing of the Xbox Series X. Obviously, for more on the brand new console, as well as the Series S and PlayStation 5, keep your eyes peeled to GameSpot.